Encryption keys, what are they and where do they come from? Welcome back to Vocab Wednesday Crypto Edition. In last week's episode, we talked about encryption and how it's kind of like locking up your house to secure your belongings. Only people with your key or a copy of your key can get access to the belongings in your house. The same is true for encryption. Only people with a copy of the key used to encrypt can decrypt. But what are they? On Wikipedia, I found this helpful definition. A key is a piece of information that determines the functional output of a cryptographic algorithm. I basically envision them as a long sequence of character, kind of like a very long password. There are two ways to create keys. You can generate them randomly, or you can create them from a user's password. The first is most similar to our house example. A key is generated once and it's used to encrypt and decrypt, unlock our house. A great thing about a generated key is that it's randomly generated and therefore very hard to guess for a possible attacker, but they have to be saved somewhere. In a typical application, that would be on the user's device where the key was generated. If you would like to be able to encrypt and decrypt on another device, you would have to manually copy or transfer this key. Just like you would need to lend out your key or make a copy if somebody else is to have access to your house. When deriving a key from a password, however, you are relying on something the user can remember herself. There is no longer the need to copy the key from device to device. It can now be generated at any time from the user's password. But the strength of the key is now dependent on the strength of the password. If we stick to the house analogy, it's kind of like getting one of those key boxes outside your door with a PIN code. Very useful if you're running an Airbnb, for instance. You no longer have to copy a key for everyone that needs access. You can give them the PIN code, and by using the PIN code, they get access to the key and they can unlock the door. Both of these approaches has its weaknesses. A generated key could be copied by someone with malicious intent that has temporary access to your phone, either physically or by hacking into it. And the password might not be as strong as we would like them to be. So there is a third way, kind of a mix between the two. Instead of generating the key solely based on the user's password, you add in a randomly generated secret. This randomly generated secret is often more readable to a human than a generated key, making it easier to transfer between devices or even write down in case you lose all devices with a copy. If you have ever used 1Password, and I recommend you do for your password managing needs, you have experienced this approach. It's inconvenient for the user, but the added security is worth it, especially in a password manager. However, for POW, our flexible and encrypted menstrual cycle journal, we feel this added step of transferring a secret key between devices is unnecessary. That's all for today. My name is Benedicta. I am the co-founder, senior developer, and mom of Lilly Labs, the team behind POW. I am new here on YouTube, so if you want to make my day, please leave a comment or a question below. Until next week, bye-bye!